Hey guys, it's Arden, and this is my fourth video, and the others have just been complete shit. I'm just so new to this that it's I don't really know what to talk about. I'm not really comfortable talking into a laptop yet, but I'm getting there, slowly but surely. And so I just wanted to make a video that was more me, had more of my personality, and I just want to tell you guys a little bit about how the steps I've taken and my life up until this point. Currently, I'm 18 years old, uh, and I turned 19 in January. I know my profile says I'm 20, but I am 18 years old, and I just got out of high school 2 years ago. So this is my second year out of high school, and I just wanted to talk about a bit about my childhood and the support and family and friends I've had growing up. I've watched a lot of guys' videos, and a lot of them, I've always had the support in my life, so I don't know what it's like to grow up without support. And I see these guys who are growing up without support. Either their parents don't agree with it, or their friends, or they can't transition yet at all, and or they can't find doctors or anybody. And it just seems like, it just makes me very grateful for just the way my life has gone so far. And I'm not religious or anything like that, but I'm thankful for everything I have. And if anything, I consider myself spiritual and slightly Buddhist. Um, but I'm always thankful and grateful and appreciative for the things I have. And ever since I was a kid, I've had nothing but guy friends. And whenever it was guys versus girls at recess, chasing the girls in the field, I was always on the guys' team, um, no doubt. And I remember vividly as a kid. Um, I went to this school that for every gym class, the guys and the girls would be separated, and so the teacher would say, "Guys on this wall, girls on that wall," and I would stand in the middle, and I would lean more towards the guys' side, but the teacher would know, and then all the girls would be shocked. They're like, "What are you doing here?" Um, and so I just always felt, I am who I am. And I told my mom very young, but probably before I even knew what I was doing. I think maybe I was like 11 or 12, probably 12. I went into my mom's room, and I said, I think I'm gonna be a guy. I made my mind up. I think I'm gonna be a guy. And she didn't take to it. She was shocked. I mean, I don't really blame her. She was like, "Oh my God!" And then I went back to my room. Then she got me 10 minutes later and said, "Okay, well, I love you. Um, I love you for you." And she's always been a big support in my life. And growing up with a brother, we were complete equals up until grade 8, and then he hit a huge growth spurt. But we would always wrestle and hang out with all the guys in the neighborhood, and we were little ruffians and rapscallions. Um, and I have pictures actually that I want to show you guys. I don't know how old we are in these pictures. I would say he's maybe 10 and I'm maybe 9, or give or take a year maybe. And we're only a year apart. And I remember seeing a guy getting his head shaved on a commercial once, and it was only 2 seconds long. And my mom's a hairdresser, so I begged her to do it, and she wouldn't do it. And then finally one day she did do it, and it hasn't been shaved the whole time since. I just did this a couple days ago, um, but I've had a shaved head the whole summer. Anyway, I remember I've just always wanted short hair, and she finally shaved my head, and this is what I look like at probably, I would say 9, 8 or 9 years old. And you get the reflection of my computer, but that is me. And I find this really funny because my brother was a big fan of the mushroom cut. It's like the childhood 90s haircut, and he loved it till, well, the 90s were over. And I think he looks more like a girl growing up than I ever did, so I think that's a little bit funny. This is my brother, and thank God he doesn't have that hairstyle anymore. The record stopped, so hold on. That's the one thing about vinyl. You always got to keep flipping it over. And Vinyl's the only thing I listen to. I have a friend who takes all my records and burns them onto his computer and then just gives me a CD, and then I put them all onto my iPod. I don't have iTunes or anything. But anyway, so growing up as a kid, I always just was who I was. Although I'm not a very open person when I talk about my situation. Um, Growing up, though, I did have, through junior high, it was all guy friends. We all remained best friends through high school. But the high school I went to was an art school, so um, they didn't. None of my friends came with me to the school. But the art school itself, just population-wise, there was a lot more girls than there were guys. So for every guy, there was about 3 girls, and so just by nature, I ended up becoming friends with more girls than I did guys. I did have a lot of guy friends there, but all the people I hung out with were mostly girls. Just it's kind of the way it was, and I didn't always feel too comfortable with them. Like they knew about my situation, but I was just so used to hanging out with guys. It was a big adjustment, and I am friends with them still to this day. But I'm just more natural. I'm more myself when I am just around guys, and that's just sort of a quick overview of how I've been through school years, and through school actually, I was involved in trades as work. I never took options, so I would take my course for about 2 periods a day, and then I would work the other 2 periods. And I had a job in grade 11 at a cabinetry company, so I was an apprentice cabinet maker. Would get up every morning and go do that, and then come to school at lunch and finish my courses. So I've always been very labor orientated, and through grade 12, like the end of grade 12 to the whole year afterward, up until last year. My record's really crackly right now. I was an apprentice carpenter, so this is all pre-testosterone also, and I never got bugged about it. I used to have these. I never had Carhartts or actual work jeans, so I just I just had a pair of old jeans that happened to be like slim fits that a couple of guys would bug me about. But other than that, like I never was harassed or anything like that. At a couple parties, I did get bugged a couple times, but then I'm very quick to start a fight actually. So I remember this one party. My friend had gotten into a lot of trouble for having all these people over, so we were kicking everybody out, and a couple people were chosen to spend the night, and me and a couple other guys spent the night, but there was these douchebags who wouldn't get off for long. So we went outside and we said, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And one of them made a joke to his buddy, and he said, "Is that a girl or a guy?" And I said, "What'd you say?" And then he said it again. He said it louder, and then I walked right up and knocked him out. And then his other friends jumped on me then, and then my friends jumped on them, and then cops came, and we got the hell out of there. But yeah, one-hit wonder. So I've always just been very defensive. I've never been open to who I am. So doing this whole YouTube thing is a big step for me. I'm just getting into it slowly. And this video is already 8 minutes and some. So I'll leave it at this, and talk a little bit more. If anybody, like, I don't know who watches these, but if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. I'm getting a lot of, I think this is kind of helping myself, and as long as I'm helping somebody else by doing these videos, it makes me feel better. But I'll post another video some other time about how I actually feel about being transgendered, because that was something I'm not really comfortable saying. I just keep it to myself. So I'll post. My childhood was great. I've just always been who I am, and I never thought of it as a disability before, until I realized that more people are going through this, and so I'll talk a little bit more about how I actually feel about it. I'm not against it, definitely not against it. I just think it's really shitty for people to go through, because nobody asked for it, So I'll post another video some other time. And yeah, just thanks for watching. See you later.